morning. Welcome back to our academic writing class. Today is our, I think it's 11th week, right? So before the midterm, Professor Zhang, she has a class, so she taught like the first week she talked about the introduction, and the second week she talked about the structure, IMRD. For the third week, she invited Professor Feng to come here to use the Google Classroom and teach you, told you guys how to use the program about statics of writing. Do you remember that? I think that's very useful. Maybe we can use that in the for the following weeks. But we need some data. We need to find some paper, and we need to understand how to use the program. And for the fourth week, Professor Zhang, she told you about the reference and the questions. And for the fifth week, she used there is an MTD paper writing guideline. Do you remember that? Maybe we will talk about that next week in different point of view, and talk about how to write new papers. For the sixth week, she taught about the statement and outline, and for the seventh week, how to make a PowerPoint. So that's all for her classes. And for my turn, last week I talked about the academic word list. Those I think is the first step for all of you to understand how to improve your academic writing skill. That's the first step. For the second step, I will talk about some basic rules of writing. Okay, now I will ask you questions. So, how to write a good academic article? How to write a good academic article? Maybe I will give you some examples. First, for last week we talked about the vocabularies, right? First, you need to know the English words. This is the first step. Second, what is the important thing? Maybe you have to be a good researcher, right? You need a good content. So actually, many of you, you study in university. You spend most of your times to learn your math, to learn the theories. So this is the point. Like if you think that if you know how to do the research and you are a good writer about to write an article, is that true? No, that's not true. This is why we have this class. But this class is based on, first, maybe you have enough vocabularies. First, you need already some basic vocabulary, at least those 960 vocabularies that I gave you last week. This is the first thing you need to know. Second, you must be a good researcher. You have a good content, research content. You have a good result. You know how to do it. You know the basic knowledge of your field. This is the second thing you need to do. Third, what is the third? Maybe grammar is also important. You must learn some English grammar before you come here, right? Before you come to university. So those are English skills. But today in our class, those are not. The thing I want to talk about, a basic rule of writing, are something important except those things I already said. Okay? So those things are important. Vocabularies are important, but you need to do that. You need to work by yourself. Maybe I can give you a little bit help. Maybe we can have some tests. I give you maybe every week I will tell you that you need to memorize these 50 vocabularies, and we will have a vocabulary contest. That's a thing I can do. But there are many vocabulary. Actually, 960 vocabulary just only for the academic writing. But for the general writing, they are 2,600. Those words you must to learn by yourself, not here. Okay? So this is for you want to be a good writer. For English, of course, you need a vocabulary, you need an English grammar. But in here, for this is academic writing. Even though we are using the English speaking to taught you this class, but this is not limited in English writing. Actually, this is also useful for you in Chinese, in other languages. Okay. So then I will ask you, what else do you think? What kind of rules you think those are important? The question, this is the first question. What kind of things do you think it is important? I will divide you into 3 groups. Then you can discuss with your teammate. Okay. Then tell me as many as possible rules you think those are important, except vocabularies, except good research, except grammar. Okay? You got it? Okay, let's do it. So we have 9 students. What we need to do is to divide it into 3 groups. Okay. So the first group, Youan, Yijun, Yi, those are random. Okay, so you are in the first group. For the second group, Qi Kai, Jianyu, Jianping, second group. Okay. So you are in the second group. So the rest of students, Hao Qun, come to sit here. Hao Qun. And you will discuss. And Sao Jie, in the third group. Okay, so what you are going to do is talk to your teammates. I hope you can speak in English. That will be better. But if you have probably a little bit Chinese, it will be okay. So, but you must give me 3 answers about what do you think it is important for academic writing. Not for English, not for grammar, not for vocabulary, not for research. No, not for them. You are a good researcher, but you want to be you want to write a good article. What should you do? What do you think that's important? Okay, stop. Then you will give me the answer from here. And we will discuss. I think all of your group, at least one of you has Rubio, right? So you can, if not all of you have Rubio, maybe one group can give you, one of you in the group can give the answer. English. You must give me your answer in English. Okay, please. But maybe you can discuss in Chinese. But I need your answer in English, and we can discuss.
paper or anything? Do you understand my question? Clear? You don't have any experience about writing, but maybe you can read, right? You have some experience about reading, right? You know, what do you think is a good reader if they want to, if you have a textbook, you want to know what is the content. What did they want to tell you, the theory? How do you think that's important? Maybe you can think in the opposite way. If you read an article, what kind of article you think it is awful? You don't, it's unreadable. You think it's bad, it's terrible. So if you want to be a good writer, you should think like that. There is no standard answer, but there are some answers from you. Maybe you have some better answer than I prepared from the textbook. But you can think, if you want to write better, what should you do?
This is also an opportunity to learn how to discuss with your teammates. You can bring your opinions, and some of you can organize and clear up for the final version and upload. Okay. Okay, got some answers. Finish? Finish? Done? Okay. So, fastest. How about you? How about? Skip? Huh? You did that? Okay. So, okay. Done. see our answer. Okay. Format. What is the form? What kind of article you want to publicate, or maybe you want to graduate? There is a form of your object or your essay, right? A format. Yeah, that's important. Logic. Yes, logic is important. You need to talk clearly about your research. Even, but this is after you have a good research result. You know what you are doing, so you need a logic. Those are 2 points. And the proof. If you want to prove your theory, you need to show the result. I think those are in the logic, right? Very similar to part of it. Form. Form, yeah. Form. I think this is similar to format. Format is more general. Font is one part of the format. So because the format is important, next we will talk about the format of paper. Okay. Grammar, I said except grammar. Yeah, except grammar. Except vocabulary, except grammar, except your research, except your theory. Yeah. We base on you already know English, you already know the grammar, you already know the your result. So those are not included. Point of view, I think those are your result, part of the result. Okay. Yeah. Have a good point of view is important, I agree. But this is not, we are talking about you already do some research, right? Something outside that. So that's why I told you something, except this kind of things. Okay, so for the third, more specific structure of the article, those are format, the same, right? Format. You need to follow the format. No? Yeah, you are talking about the structure of article. For me, that's very similar to, they are included in the logic. Introduction, methodology, and the result, and the discussion, those are logic. This is a very basic flow of the logic. Okay, so context-dependent article. Reference, right? You're talking about reference? Is that? No? What does this mean? Context-dependent article. Oh, those are logic, right? Yes. Okay. Good. And match your academic template. Yes. Okay. All of you are most right. So I present to you from, actually this is from a book, How to Write an Academic Writing. This is from a foreign writer. He's not an English speaker as well, like us. And he write down some basic rules of writing. So let's see, what did he say, okay? So his answer is, the first is important, but none of you talk about this. None of you talk about this. Brevity. Brevity. Can any of you tell me what does that mean, brevity? Anyone? Do you know brevity? Yijun? Yeah, it's short, right? As short as possible, you need to include important point of view. That is brevity. If you can say that in 2 words, don't say it in 3 words. You can say that in 1 sentence. Don't use 2 sentences to say the same thing. Okay, this is brevity. Okay, second is, I think all of you already agree. Logic and clarity. Okay, Hao Chun, logic. What do you know? What is clarity? Clarity. Do you know this word before? Yeah. What does that mean? English. Yeah, logic. Logic, all of you know logic. We know logic. Logic is an easy word for our department. But what do you mean clarity? Yes, clarity. Easy to understand, to be understood. Clear. Something, clarity. Oh, okay? So logic and clarity. You want to make your article, you want to make people understand your research. So this is also important. And the third one is physically attractiveness. All of you mentioned about the formation, mentioned about you need to fit maybe the form must be the same, maybe what else? The figure must be the same as the rule. So physically attractive means you should make your article fit the form and also looks beautiful, like a book. If you write down a paper, that must be looking like a paper, okay? If you look like a paper, but many of students, they submit their report to me, and I was angry because this is raw data. This is not a report. So if you are from my group, if you has a meeting with me before, I talk a lot about this, the formation. You need to write, you need to follow some rules so people can understand. Okay, you need to follow a rule. Many of you like to create your own rules, but all of you are new students, new researchers. So don't create your own rules, even though you think it's fun. But what you need to do at the beginning is to follow others' rules. This is important and difficult because you don't know those rules. You need to understand, you need to know, but why they use these rules? They need a standard. They need to clearly present their idea. Okay, so these 3 points are important. All right. So brevity. So Yijun told us brevity means short, right? Okay. So short article. You don't want to make it too large. Make it large. Brevity is an elementary rule of all writing. Not only for the academic writing, but all writing, you need make it brevity. Brevity can set valuable publication spaces. Yeah. Even though sometimes they told you that they need 3 pages, 5 pages, or 7 pages, but you want to give more ideas, more content. So brevity is important. If you can use 1 sentence, don't use 2 sentences, then you can put more ideas in that. So if you can use only a short sentence, you can save valuable publication space. You know valuable, right? It's very important or very useful ideas. A lot of value, okay, valuable publication space, can save space. Okay, verbose writing. Anyone know this word, verbose? Verbose. Something is not necessary. Do it a lot of time. Non-valuable, something non-valuable. This is the opposite meaning of brevity. So verbose writing can obscure. Obscure means like this way. Obscure, okay. So you cannot see. Obscure the meaning and waste the reader's time and patience. Okay. Okay, so guys, so those are the importance of the brevity. if it is not important, you say many times, then you waste the reader's time. And they forget the meaning. They forget those things you really want to say. First. Second, you waste their time. And third, they lost their patience. They don't want to read because they don't get anything. So they give up. Okay, also is a brevity. So, okay, so this is an example, and we will have exercise later on to look at this. Let's look at this example. So, our research designed to test the fatal effect of something PGF2 alpha on dogs was carried out by intravenously introducing the drug. In the experience, a relatively small quantity, 30 milligram, was administered to each animal. In each case, PGF2 alpha proved fatal. All 10 dogs expired before a lapse of 5 minutes after the injection. Okay, this is an activity we will do later. So we can, after we do the brevity, what can we do? What can we see? So after that, there are only 70 words. Actually, you don't need to waste your time for over this article. Actually, there is only idea about intravenous injection of 30 milligram prostaglandin something PGF2 alpha to each of 10 dogs, kill them within 5 minutes. Okay, those are the same articles, but if you know the brevity, you can delete. Those words are not necessary. Okay, so the second, logic and clarity. Okay, so to convey information is about all matter of logic and clarity. To write down what is your purpose to write an article, not only to graduate, to publish paper. The most important purpose is to convey, to transfer your information, to other people. So it's all the things about logic and clarity. It's important. So what you want to say should be arranged. Like in our class, you need some points, and step by step, I tell you there are 3 important rules. So I follow these rules, and step by step, I tell you the importance and the meaning, more details about these 3 rules. We should arrange that clearly, like what you are doing for your research, to write a paper, to write your thesis, to write your report. You need to arrange that clearly. So the reader can follow your argumentation step by step. Those are the points. They can follow you. Not just don't jump to the result. You need to tell them, like, before there are some researchers, they doing something. And at this moment, at this time, recently, what is the most state-of-the-art result for this kind of circuit, for this research? And follow this rule, I combine these rules with other rules from maybe other field. I have this design and what I change. And for this result, I implement my circuit Then I have a research measurement result. After I measured, I found that it is possible to use our new theory. Maybe it's not exactly new. I combine the theory from other different parts and become my new theory and I will have a result and I will discuss what did I do here. This is logical, this is usually the way we do our argumentation step by step. Yes, I think maybe Professor John, she already told you very similar things, but we are in different departments, so we have different point of view to talk about academic writing step by step. Yeah, this is also the way to tell you to convey the information step by step to you. Okay. So your sentences should be so clear and easily understand that the reader forget that he is reading and know only that he is absorbing ideas. This is one of my experience. When I study abroad in US, actually I forget I'm listening in English. When you understand step by step, maybe you forgot everything. You forgot about the problem come from language. You just absorb like this is SpongeBob absorb. Yes, absorb the idea. Absorb the idea. You just absorb the idea, like what I'm telling to you. I don't know how many of you can understand I'm talking about, but actually I'm using easy vocabularies. I think most of you can probably understand, right? So you are absorbing my idea, you are absorbing those key points from that, and you forgot you are listening to English, like when you read a good paper, if it's clearly organized, and it's simple, you are absorbing the idea. Okay, I think this is the goal, the most important, your final goal of write a good article. They can understand your idea, not only because they don't have any problem in English. Okay, so there are many ways they present the logic and clarity. So like for this turn, sometimes you talk about the introduction and doing this is moreover, and you do something and they have something, however. So they give the idea like a different point of view, then you give more ideas. This is the switch, the way of switch. This is the logic. And there is a way like a zigzag. So they told you this thing, and however, and something different or something different. So this is like zigzag, different way. So snowball is also easy to be understand. They give one and tell you, and you can expand your idea to 2, 3, 4, 5, and get more and more. Maybe you can put more ideas to make it more complex. So this is the snowball logic, snowball way to tell you the theory. So also one thing is important. One thing is important for the logic and the clarity. So what is important? Do not include observation that depart from the main theme. What does that mean? What does that mean? Do not include observation that depart from the theme. I will ask Ajay. Yeah, you are almost asleep, so that's why I ask you. Can you tell us what is the meaning? What do you see here? Huh? Yeah, just tell us like what do you think? Okay, I was asking about vocabulary. Do you know observation? No? Okay. Depart. Tell us what is depart? No, you don't know depart? Man. Do you know man? No. You don't know all of the words? None of the vocabulary? No. Okay, let me tell you, okay. Do not include. Yeah, okay. Do not include. Maybe you can speak English. You can practice. Okay. Do not include observation. Observe. Observation. You see something. Those are things you observe, right? Do not include observation. Let depart. Depart means the separate. Something is separated from the most important thing. Most important, maybe the theory or the something you think that is important. Okay? So you can understand the sentence? No? Huh? Still don't? Okay. I think the most important thing here is don't put something not important in your article. You need always focus on your main theory. This is the meaning of this word. Don't put, because when you talk about something, if you don't have the main idea, you will add a lot of something not important. Okay? Like in this class, when I talk about this and I tell you about the story, maybe what I ate for my breakfast, maybe what I'm going to eat later, or maybe something. Those are not related to this class. If you talk something, those are not really related to your main story, don't put that in your article. Okay? So there is a logic, right? You agree with the logic, right? There's a logic of your theory, what you observe, and you put something. And if you put something, those are not related to your idea, don't do that. Okay? Okay. Okay. And you will find space for them elsewhere. Okay. Don't put that in the main row of it. And this is the main melody. Okay. If such information quite out to be mentioned, if you really want to put this information, those things is not the most important idea. The most important, your theory, your the way of logic. But you really want to put them inside. You can insert it parenthetically. Parenthetically. You got it? So parenthetically, do you know what that means? No? Anyone? Parenthetically. You never learn this word. This is parenthetically. Okay. Wow. You really want to put them in, you can insert it parenthetically. So this is an example. Okay. You want to say something, those is not the main thing. You put them parenthetically. So this is a way you put something not important. So don't put important thing in this one parenthetically. Okay. This is an example. Anyone got it? Okay. So physically attractiveness. Physically attractiveness is the degree to which a person's physical features are considered aesthetically pleasing or beautiful. This is the meaning of physically attractive. Attractive means something is, maybe you are fascinating something, you like something, this is attractive. You like this, the man is very handsome, the girl is very beautiful, so they are very attractive, you like them. You think they are adorable. Okay, so this is attractive. And physical, you know physical, right? Physically attractive, it looks like beautiful. Something looks beautiful. So this is a meaning, a degree of in which person's physical feature, something you looks physically, the shape, or maybe when you observe it, it looks like something, you like it, and considered aesthetically pleasant. This is, what does that mean, aesthetically? Something about art, aesthetically. I think these words are shown last week in our, when we talk about vocabulary, aesthetical. You remember? No. Yeah, but we discussed 50 vocabulary, right? So this is one of them. And this is aesthetically pleasing. Something looks beautiful and beautiful. Those are maybe repeating. So I put a figure like that. So why? Why beautiful is important for your writing? If I'm doing good research, they should know, right? But actually not. Actually not. Editor know from experience, and as for my experience as well, there is close relationship between a poorly prepared manuscript and the poor science. If you submit your manuscript, if you submit your report to me, and this is poorly prepared, not in a good format, not in a good shape, you are doing bad science. Don't think that I'm a good researcher, I just don't write career. No, usually not. Usually, if you don't put that in a good format, you are bad researcher because you don't care about your work. You spend less time to think about the formation. You don't care, such as you don't care your research. So this is also important. If you want to have, if you want to present, you want to publish a good paper, you need to deeply understand the formation about the publication, and also when you like a formation about if you submit your abstract for your thesis. Take a little break. Okay, let me give you some wake-up questions. What are the most three important rules we mentioned in the last class? Important rule about academic writing. Very easy, no? So physically attractiveness. What does that mean? Fit the formation. Yes. Okay. This is the third one. How about another two?
Logic.
Okay. Logic and clarity. And the first one is
Short.
Brevity,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, brevity. Okay. Okay, we can start. So this is a kind of example about poorly prepared manuscript. If I'm a teacher, if you are a teacher, your students submit their homework like this. Do you think he's a good student? No. Okay, that's very simple to understand, right? If your student submit that. So the same as you submit your report, your formation is not fit. Your format is changing again and again, different color, different formation, different size, font size. You will think this is a bad report. Okay. So, okay. So there are more comments on scientific language. Some comment, they just give you some comment. I follow a book. They tell you that there are something maybe you should remember. There are something you should do. Now first, if you are a foreigner, English is your foreign language. It's not your native language. What you should do? Okay, I think I've pretty much very similar problem. So we can look at the suggestions. Is it brilliant to write your paper directly in Chinese and translated into English by a professional translator? Yeah, I think that's one of the easier, fastest way, right? You write down your idea in Chinese and you find someone can translate your idea. It's easy to, you have get one paper, but this is not the best way you can do. This is a fastest way because there are more than one people do one work. There are many people do one work, but this is not best way. You should try to write directly in English. If you have time, you want to have a better paper, try to write it by yourself. Okay. And reading English language publication. This is what we should do, and this is what we are always do for our graduate students. Go to read paper. We have the class about this one, right? You go to class and you read one of the paper, you present the paper from your field, you share experience with others. So this is one of the opportunity you can read leading English language publication. But look at that, leading English language publication. Something is important. Where is your reference come from? Did you just Google it? Or this is something important? This article is the most beautiful, the most important article in your field. This is important, but it depends on your skill. How do you know your field? You know much about your field, then you can tell what kind of article, which one, from which conference, from which journal, which book is the leading English language publication. Okay, not only for English writing, but also they have good content, good research. So you copy it, you learn it, there are something you can follow, then you can write a good paper. So you should read it more, you can find more, you should discuss with the people in a group. That's why we have conference, we have publication, we have a journal. So those are the method to write a good, there are methods about step by step to learn your English writing, to have a good research paper. Okay. So
underline useful phrase and words. Those are the things we can do. You find out good papers and you underline. Underline. Do you know underline? The meaning of underline? Hao-Jun, you know underline, right? Underline means something like this. I put a line under it. Okay. So underline useful phrase and words. Phrase and words. Those are the structures of sentence you are usually used. So you need a correction. All of you, I think for the graduate students, all of you, at least you need to write down a abstract, right? All of you, at least, or you need to submit 6 pages of your English writing of your thesis, right? At least 6 pages. How to finish your 6 pages papers? How to do that? The most easy way is to find some article. Those are close to what you are doing, and you underline those useful phrases and words. Okay, then try to follow their way to write it down. Not only the structure, is talk about a sentence, and you need enough academic vocabulary, then you finish the writing. So, and then create a list of terms for each section. Like for introduction, maybe we can do this. We can do this word maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. We found some article. I think Professor Zhang, she already did part of it, right? You remember? Right. But this need more exercise. First. Second, this is like a vocabulary. You need more and more and more, and you need a lot of database. It will be easier for you, and we will discuss which sentence is important, and you will have a lot of examples you can follow, you can learn. Okay, maybe we can build this database together. This is one of the things we can do later. So create a list of terms for each section. Do you know terms, the meaning of terms? Terms. No? How to explain the terms? Term is a very basic and a very useful word. Maybe it's a list of something for each section. A list of a piece of something. Yeah, terms. 项目. I don't know how to explain easier. 项目. Something. Some terms. Okay. Alright. Okay, so because you are a foreigner, you are not speak English every day. So if you want to write, if you are a foreigner, you want to write a perfect English article, you need something like, first, you need someone who not only are native speaker of English, but also live in your country and speak its language. He's bilingual. He can speak good English and he can speak good Chinese. And he is here free, do this for you. First, you need this one. Second, this guy should return their native country at least once a year to refresh their English. Like for me, my English skill is getting decreased. I lived in US for I think like almost 6 years. I lived there in 6 years. But after I graduate, I haven't had the opportunity to go back US, and I stayed in Taiwan about 8 years. So I start to forget my English. So what you need to do is you need to go to attend a conference, maybe go to some place they have good English. Not go to visit Japan is not the best way because English is not their native language. Maybe you can go to Singapore, maybe you can go to Australia, it's close to Taiwan, maybe Hong Kong. They have, I think English is also part of their official language, right? Go to some place, their official language is English to refresh. For the people, I think most of you don't have opportunity to stay in English-speaking country, but you should find some way. There is always a way, or you can use the internet. You need to have a habit. So this is one of the way, but I think the most effective way is to live in that country because, especially like Australia, they don't speak Chinese, right? So you must speak in English. That is the best way for you to learn. But if you live in Singapore, many of them can speak Chinese. Actually, you will speak in Chinese because it's the most efficient way to communicate with people. So yeah, this is my experience. If you have to do that, then you will learn something. Like if you have final exam, then you will learn something finally. If there is no final exam, like I tell you the vocabulary list to you, a lot of vocabulary list, you say you will learn by yourself. Eventually you learn nothing, right? You will spend a little time to look at, but it's not efficient. You need some pressure to learn. This is my opinion, but it's your choice. It's your choice. Everyone say they can exercise by themselves, but always, eventually they fail. They want to lose their weight. They want to get good body. The most efficient way is if you register for a contest. Something you must do. If you want to improve your English, you need to register something you must do. Then you will learn that thing. Of course, it's painful. You don't feel comfortable, but if you feel comfortable, means you cannot learn it. Okay, this is my experience. Every time I learn something, I feel painful. Okay, I think all of you have the same experience, but you just you have your choice. Okay. Okay, for your reference. Okay, you really want to learn something, do it. Register something. Don't just say it. You will not have any result. Okay, you won't get any result by only your words. Those words are meaningless. You need to you want to learn some theoretical things. You need to have a meeting every week. We need to follow, to check what did you do every week. Then you will learn something eventually. Okay, so if you want someone to help you to write down a good academic article, first they need to be a native speaker of English and know your language. So this is the first one. And second one, they need to not live in your country. They need to go back to some place they speak in English very often. And the third one, they also need a knowledge of the scientific writing. Because English writing and the scientific writing, they are different things, especially in different fields. Like, do you remember when Professor Zhang, she is talking about this class, there are some different point of view, right? We have different point of view. You remember? Because in her applied English department, they use their language. We all, most of us, we are using English, but their academic English is not our academic English. Okay, so there are something different, but the general rules are the same. General rules are the same, but for a specific different field, we have our own rules, our own language. The knowledge of scientific writing is a little bit different. You can tell the difference. Maybe you can include her idea, but eventually you need to follow our rules, especially in your field. Okay. Only you are in different research field, right? So in your research field, maybe they have different rules as in our research field. Because they are from most of them are from our lab. So that's why we always pick up those papers from our article, from our field, those articles. But in your field, they must have a different language. So what you need to do is to look what we are doing here. Maybe you can have your own rule from the paper. Okay, different field of paper. Okay. Because we are the majority, so that's why we do this one. But if we have more students from other department, maybe other field, research field, we need to have a more general scientific writing knowledge. Okay, so this is the first comment. And the second one, we already talked about something like that, right? So this one is in the previous, the same in the previous one. Okay, make it short. So follow the narrative. Okay, what is a narrative? Narrative is a word, it's a short, constant, recurring musical phrase again and again. It's a narrative. So you should follow that, and do not include something depart from the main theme. Yeah, because we are using the music as an example. So if you really want to say something, those are not related to our main thing, maybe you can do that parenthetically. Okay, you learn something parenthetically. Okay. So verbosity. Okay, this is important. Verbosity. This is connected to our brevity. Verbosity is speech or writing that uses more words than necessary. Something not necessary is verbosity. Okay, so short, right? You know you want to write something short. So because it's important, so you need to say 3 times. Omit needless words. Omit needless word. Omit needless word. Do you know the word omit mean? Do you know omit? No? Neglect. Just don't care. Okay? Just don't care. Something not need. Okay? Don't care. Don't care. Omit. Omit. Neglect. Just. Yes. So omit something not necessary. Alright. So eventually we need to, because we want something, we want the brevity, we want to omit needless words. So we are doing the concise writing. Concise writing. Anyone tell me what does that mean, concise? Tell other people. Concise. Concise. No? Anyone learned this word before? No? Something meaningful, important, short. Short. That means concise. So it's another way to say brevity. Concise writing. Something is concrete, important writing. Okay, concise and clear. So the goal of concise writing is to use the most effective words Okay, this is the meaning of concise writing. You will use the most effective word, something most effective, shortest, right? But actually, concise writing does not always have the fewest word. So maybe it's not the shortest, but it always uses the strongest ones. You need a strong, not long, but maybe it is not the shortest. You need to say that in a better words. Writing is not like our sign. They are a variable quantity like 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes it's kind of feeling, the feeling. I will feel like this word is much better. When we try to revise our paper, like I revise paper with Ying or Xiao Jie, sometimes I tell you that this word, this sentence is much better. Sometimes, but it's not necessarily shortest. Okay, so you need to keep that strong. Keep that strong. The strongest one, maybe not always the fewest word, but sometimes, many times, it's the fewest words. Okay, so concise writing can set variable publication state. Okay, we already read this sentence, right? So redundant. Anyone know this word, redundant? The same. Redundant means not necessary. Something more than necessary. Redundant. Redundant writing, obscure meaning and waste the reader's time and patience. Okay, so we repeat the same sentence to emphasize these key ideas. So what we are going to do is talk about a strategy for concise writing. Okay, so you are all already become split into 3 groups, right? Okay, so there will be some articles. So I want all of you in each group to apply these three strategies in the follow article. Okay? Okay, and you can discuss and give me the answer. Okay, more activities. We like activities, right? Because you are going to sleep. We need activities. Okay, so there are 3 strategies to do the concise writing. First, you replace several vague words, those are necessary words, with more powerful and specific words. Okay, those are, I think, weak, not necessary, right? Vague. Maybe unclear. I think vague means unclear, right? Vague. So you replace these vague words with powerful and specific words first. Okay, for the second strategy, you will interrogate every word in a sentence. Interrogate, the meaning of interrogate means if you are being sent into maybe jail or maybe to police office, the police asks you question again and again and again. That means interrogate. The police interrogate you. Okay, understand? The police interrogate you in the police office. So you interrogate every word in the sentence if it is necessary. Okay, for the third, combine sentence. Combine sentence. Okay? Okay, so let's start to do this one. Okay, I will have one more question. Okay, let me show the question first. Okay, so discuss with your teammates to apply this strategy. The first strategy. So replace several vague words with more powerful and specific words. Okay? Use more specific words to replace several small and ambiguous words. Like this sentence, discuss with your teammates. If you apply your first strategy in this sentence, what will this sentence become? Susie is a girl's name. Believed but could not confirm that Billy had feeling of affection for her. Feeling of affection. Okay, write down your sentence. I will discuss with your teammate first. So, what you are going to do is replace several vague words with more powerful and specific words. Then make your new sentence. Okay. Okay, you guys done? Yeah. Okay, done. Okay. So let's check your answer. Let's repeat what we are doing here. So our first strategy for concise writing is to replace several vague words. Replace those words maybe not clear with more powerful and specific word. Okay, that's how we are doing. So here, okay, let me show you. Okay, you can look at your answer first before we start. So, Susie confused whether Billy had feels of her. Had feels. This is also not clear. Had feelings. Had feelings, there are many meanings. So, confused, if he has feelings, I think it's correct, but maybe this sentence a little bit different from, do you know the from here? Had feelings of affection. You omit the word affection. What does that mean, affection? You like her, love her, something like that. So have a feeling, maybe it's very vague. It's like a vague word. Okay. Sushi uncertain whether you like her or not. I think second one is better. It's clearer than the first one. Confused and uncertain. Those are very similar words, but maybe you choose uncertain. It's clear, much clearer. Okay, so I prefer second. Okay, how about the third group? Sushi doubt Billy is attracted by her. Attracted by her. Doubt. Okay, first of all, your tense is that the doubt? Is a past tense? Oh, the tense, maybe they all use this one. And a past tense. And Billy is attracted by her. I think love is like love, maybe closer. If I pick up, I will feel like the second group, I will pick the best, and the third and the first, they are okay as well. Okay, so you know the point. You know the point. All of you got a point. So actually this is an example from the Illinois University, their website. So I just pick up their example and then show you. So for their case, you can see which specific word they pick. So they use assume. Assume, this is academic word, right? So believe but could not confirm. They use assume. Assume. Maybe their answer is not the only one and is not the best. But you can compare with your answer. And Busy had a feeling of affection for her. He used adore. Adore. Okay, maybe it's harder than like, love. But I think this is closer to like, because I think adore, they have a feeling of affection. You like something, affection. Okay. Okay, so this is Illinois, their website's answer. Okay, you got an idea? Okay, so second strategy. Look at the rule. We will interrogate. You will ask this every word in a sentence. Check every word to make sure that it is providing something important and unique to the sentence. Every word needs new information. Don't put something those are not important on it. Every word they need to have it. Okay. So let me give you a chance to change your partner to make it fair. Okay. Let's change partner. Yeah, I will look at all of your performance. If you are working hard with your partner or you are doing something independently, maybe you will give you some. I will take some point from you. But if you discuss with your teammate, then you combine the answer, you are useful. I will give you more point. Okay. I think it's fair. So let's, okay, new partner. Okay, 黄启凯, 陈韶杰, 张美琪. Okay, you are in the group 1. Okay, please sit together. And the second one, 潘建宇, 陈怡君. Second group. And the third group, 邱浩群, 曾佑安, 潘一. Okay, I think this is a very fair group because they all have 2 graduate students, 1 undergraduate student, right? Yeah. I will tell you that I can see that maybe undergraduate students, they don't know a lot about English, but you should try hard. You should try hard to earn more scores. Okay, so we want to check this one and give me a new sentence to apply second strategy. Go. And the teacher demonstrates some of the various ways and the methods for cutting words from my essay that I had written for class.
Then we will compare their answer.